Hey everybody, my name is Brent Geidinger and I am an MBA student from Cape Breton University. And welcome to the video portion of my Strategic Management Organizational Study Project. So today I'm going to be talking to you about the United Way of the Alberta Capital Region. So the United Way's mission is to create pathways out of poverty and support the programs in the community that are aligned with this mission. So they are able to work towards this by running annual campaigns that raise donations from individuals, from all levels of government, and from primarily businesses, and then these funds are allocated to these community programs. But instead of me talking to you about the United Way, we're going to hear from the perspectives of three individuals who have close ties with the organization. The Director of Corporate Partnerships of the United Way, from a community program coordinator whose program receives funding from the United Way, as well as a corporate donor who is also involved with their campaign cabinet. So I hope you enjoy it.
So thanks, Brent. That's a great question. And our mission is to create pathways out of poverty. And we work with about 450 organizations in the Alberta Capital Region that run an annual workplace campaign. And most of those take place in fall of every year. It's a very effective way to reach a lot of people, and it really represents the workplace or business in the overall equation. So United Way does a great job of galvanizing the community, of bringing the entire community together to lift people out of poverty, and that includes all levels of government, individual donors, the social sector, and of course business. So they're a very important part of that equation, and they really represent about 80% of all the revenue that comes into our annual campaign. Now, in addition to working with United Way to lift people out of poverty, we think there are also huge benefits to the workplace. So for example, we think that the annual campaign helps them to build a great workplace culture. We think that it helps them to engage their staff and to have a lot of fun during the campaign. We think that it helps them to build their brand. And we also think that people that volunteer for the United Way campaign and take on these very important roles, because we have more than 5,000 volunteers in the Alberta Capital Region, get a chance to develop leadership skills, to become better known within the organization, and to really be seen as emerging leaders. So we think there are benefits to the community when they run campaigns, and there are certainly benefits to the organization as well. So Brett, another great question, and as we've already stated, the United Way campaign is largely based around workplace campaigns right now, and we know that traditional workplaces are changing. So we know that people are less likely to stay in that job for 30 years. In fact, we know that people are changing jobs every 18 to 24 months, or certainly millennials are. And so we know that people are less likely to have a job that is a contract position or a temporary position or a part-time position, and it may not pay benefits. We know that people are more likely to work from home. So traditional workplaces are changing, and because our connection to donors is largely through the workplace, we know that we will have to change to engage people and find new ways of engaging people. So we can do that through community-wide events. We can do that by developing initiatives like the Youth Initiative or the Young Leaders Initiative or the Women's Initiative. We know that we need to engage different groups, and we need to engage them in different ways. Crowdfunding might be a part of that, for example. So while we know that traditional workplace campaigns will continue to be very important to us, and that's not going to go away, that we need to be creative and need to find new ways to engage young donors, without a doubt.
Well, first, I would like to say that it is really important to have funders like United Way, because they actually get it. They understand the barriers that people face when they live with poverty on a daily basis. And with funders like United Way, we couldn't operate the ID storage project that we have here at Boyles Street Community Services. And what we do is we support and assist individuals in acquiring identification so they can become more independent and financially stable as well. And also the biggest one is that they can connect with important and essential services in the community, and that connects them to the wider community, which is vital. United Way believes that anyone, regardless of your circumstance or your background, you have a right to achieve your potential, your personal potential, and achieve success. And to us, it makes a perfect partnership. So United Way's funding that they've provided to Boyle Street ID storage really has provided an essential service for our community members and for the wider community here in Edmonton and beyond, actually. Now, I know it may not sound like a lot that people are trying to get ID, but for many, because of the cost of getting identification, and they're on a limited income or no income at all, this is really, really important service that we provide. Also, people don't understand actually that just to be able to open a bank account requires multiple ID. Just be able to get health services requires a photo ID and your Alberta healthcare card. If you have neither of those, they can be refused services, and that is something that we don't want to see happen within our inner city population. Also, ID sets people free to go after their dreams and provides a path to achieving independence and financial stability. And when you have ID, you can apply for employment, you can apply to get an apartment, you can open a bank account, you can access all the services that any everyday citizen could. But for many people within the inner city and within our community, that's often not a possibility. The final thing I'd like to say too is that the funding that United Way has provided to Boyle Street has allowed us to have a full-time staff on site at all times, and also provides an opportunity to go into the community and let people know the information that we can give to their clients if they're not aware of what is available. So in a whole gamut of areas, we really do provide an essential service, and we couldn't do it without United Way.
So campaigns educate and help. They build awareness on United Way and what they can do for community. Many companies and many people do not know what the United Way can do. I learn every day, and I've been on the cabinet for 8 years. It builds awareness on the ongoing battle with poverty and our plan to end poverty. We need to educate people on the main three drivers: education, income, and wellness, and what all of us can do in the workplace campaigns to support those drivers. Having a workplace campaign also helps employee engagement, and employee engagement is everything. So team members focused on one goal during one, let me back up. So they're focusing on one goal. We want the campaigns to run through the year and have events all the time, but we usually have at the end of the year in the fall, it's on the fall campaign, and they will have 2 weeks of fun, and they have one focus, and it's team events doing the right things for the right people. So it really creates a sense of teamwork, positive momentum. It's invaluable.